Zarathustra speaks about the new idol and how it has come about and what its role is in society, and how we have reverence for this new idol without knowing it. And he compares us so often to apes, animals, which we very often are animals, as we do fail to overcome the impetus to follow through with instinct and to act upon the inclinations and impressions that we naturally and innately possess. How does this happen? What does this truly look like? What does it mean, this new idol, that which is revered, unknowing, unbeknownst to you, that which you try to be reverent of, that which you try to appreciate, is somehow, in fact, very treacherously death. That's what Zarathustra and thus Nietzsche believes. He has spoken about the afterworlders and those people who act more like apes than men, people who are not presently aware as to the precedent that is established by their unthinking action. And he talks specifically about the idea of like states, borders, boundaries. And I remember a time when I wrote about this notion of who is that there across the river? He looks like me. He stands like me. A dread foreboding. And yet what I say and believe, he does not say and believe. In fact, I cannot understand a word he says. And so who is he but my enemy? I must kill him. I must take from him as he wishes to take from me. This so often is the initial brushstroke of blood across the canvas of war. Essentially, Zarathustra has discovered that we are in fact existing in a society. And society bears with it a lot of rules and systems of conformity. And when we don't know better, the great souls, as Zarathustra refers to, those people who have a unique sentimentality, a unique presence, when they come up in these circumstances, they are lured in. They get shaped, they get molded, they're pressed upon, they're implored without the knowledge of anything better. And they participate. See them clamber, these nimble apes. They clamber over one another and so scuffle into the mud and the abyss. They all strive towards the throne. It is a madness they have, as if happiness sat upon the throne. Often filth sits upon the throne, and often the throne upon filth too. They all seem madmen to me, and clambering apes, and too vehement. Their idol, that cold monster, smells unpleasant to me. All of them, all these idolaters, smell unpleasant to me. My brothers, do you want then to suffocate in the fumes of their animal mouths and appetites? Better to break the window and leap into the open air. Avoid this bad odor, leave the idolatry of the superfluous. Avoid this bad odor, leave the smoke of these human sacrifices. And if you are an idolater, you're worshiping an item as though it invokes, as though it is godly, like material things, like the golden calf. You're worshiping things that are not timeless, that are not profound. You are attached and hinged to stuff. And stuff guides your actions, and stuff commands you, and stuff rules you. And oftentimes we can't help it, right? We end up on the other side of the river. I don't know who that guy is. He doesn't know who I am. Is he going to come kill me? Do I have to kill him first? What's it going to be? Sometimes we don't have the luxury of being able to see the other side, right? But if you do bear with you the wisdom to see, then see. And do not Do not be convinced to be an idolater. Do not commit idolatry for such foul things, for such foul lack of necessity. Nietzsche has so much chagrin for the system of faith and worship that he has seen himself be corrupted, to be turned malignant and distracted, to be a divergence from the true essence of good and what faith is meant to represent. A lot of people see him as a sort of hopeless and detached ingrate with bitterness, but I see a romantic man still reaching through the veil that has been corrupted, still believing, still loving, still trying. That's what I see. The earth still remains free for great souls. Many places, the odor of tranquil seas blowing about them, are still empty for solitaries and solitary couples. A free life still remains for great souls. Surely he who possesses little is so much the less possessed. Praised be a moderate poverty. And so a solitary life is preferred. It's made preferable because less is more. Right? We get taught to want. We are brought up with an appetite that is constantly fed, and so the hunger grows. But you don't need all this stuff. It's just crap. In fact, with what little of it you actually do possess, you're probably not even using it. Like where I'm sitting right now. I've lived here for several years, and rarely have I ever ventured over here. So subsumed with, a malcontent, a discontent, a sadness, a molasses of self, that I hardly bask in the glory of life. Because it is true that it is a beautiful world. There is much beauty to see, many beautiful people to see, cultures, richness, lavishness. But everything is always as it's meant to be. And so just as it was with those men of old, those ancestors, those predecessors, who gazed long at each other across the riverside, across the river ford, who knew nothing further than their pastures, those around them, their family, their friends, all of life was right there. All of life is right here, right now. And honestly, it's never been so beautiful as this since I was a kid, a little kid. And that's what you are supposed to find. That's what you are bid to tap into with the three metamorphoses of the spirit. You're meant to realize all this, fight like hell to free yourself from its grasp, its clutches, and then just live again. Why would a solitary life be important in that regard? So that you might have the opportunity to truly appreciate it. Because you do not need to bury yourself in stuff and people, because you might not always have that. Everything is as ordained to be. It is just so that the man who has never seen anything further than the farthest acre of his farm has seen all there is to see in the entire world. Marcus Aurelius, a man with 40 years in his lifespan and eyes in his head to see, has seen both the past and the future. Everything that you could ever dream of seeing and feeling, you can see and feel right now. The only thing that will be any different is the tapestry, or the decorations, the drapery. What is that? Is it beautiful? Yes, it can be. Can we have nostalgia for such things? Of course. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's novel. But that's all that it is. It doesn't deprive from the true essence of life, the true gem, the true diamond. And that's what you are bid to see. Zarathustra is coming down from the mountain into a place as a sea subsumes all, crushing and crashing, trying to help them see, to break free, to break out, for it takes a reckoning force to wake oneself up, to have a solitary life, as solitary couples, he even says. Perhaps he dreams still for that romantic union. A free life still remains for great souls. Truly, he who possesses little is so much the less possessed. Praised be immoderate poverty. Less is more. I have endured what I would call such conditions. To be considered impoverished in the sense of material wealth is oftentimes, ruinous. It constrains the spirit. But why have so much chagrin about that? Less is more. Are you rich in life and in soul? Because that is a greater wealth, a wealth that is coveted by all. Only there where the state ceases does the man who is not superfluous begin. Does the song of the necessary man, the unique and irreplaceable melody, begin. There where the state ceases, look there, my brothers, do you not see it? The rainbow and the bridges to the Superman? Thus spoke Zarathustra. My only question therein is, do we not have to first be with all of it to understand this truth? Or are those people at the river ford gazing long at one another, are they capable of realizing this on their own? Or does the great soul, does he have to experience the state, essentially the apparatus, the big society that bears with it so much in the way of envy, in the way of provoking you to basing yourself on the wrong things? Are we able to realize that innately, or is it a cyclical facet where we must first climb out of the isolation into civilization to discover the truth? Is that not first how it must go?